Now, in talking about empathy, I want to give you a bit of a disclaimer. There are many different ways that different psychologists and cognitive neuroscientists talk about empathy. I'm going to give it to you in two different buckets. The first bucket is from the well-known social psychologist Jamil Zaki, who describes empathy in not just one overarching category, but three. Describes empathy as sharing the emotional experience with someone that we might describe as emotional empathy. Right? We share that experience. I'll go back and I'll give you examples in a moment. He talks about understanding, cognitive empathy, where we seek to understand where someone's coming from and kind of mentalize that. What are they thinking? What do they value? What do they believe? He talks about caring about, or empathic concern and compassion. So for example, sharing. I think we've all seen videos of, say, pre-K rooms, right? So wee little babies, and someone in that wee little baby room, the kiddo starts crying. What do the rest of the kids do? I know you've all seen these videos, right? They start crying. Thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, right? It's like a wave, right? That one kid in the front starts crying, and do the rest of the kids even have any clue why that first kid started crying? No. But we start to pick up on it, right? This kind of sharing, that emotional empathy. But we may not understand why someone is crying. So we might seek to come to understanding, maybe understand what they're feeling. That's the cognitive part. And then we may try to figure out how to help. So if you're a friend or someone caring in that room, you might try to figure out how to help. So, but you can imagine how in many ways one might not lead to the other. We might have a really empathetic friend who's like, yeah, I really feel the emotions of someone else all the time, but perhaps they're not particularly good at telling us why that person's feeling the way they are. Right? So to put it differently, we seek to understand, put ourselves in their shoes, see through their glasses. We might share the feelings, affective empathy of another, or we might be motivated to improve the welfare of that other person. So empathy is not empathy is not empathy. We might understand it in three different parts, and then there's something else. All right, so how many of you have watched like America's Funniest Home Videos? Can I get some hands? Right. Okay, I know it's kind of old at this point, but I think you all kind of know what I'm talking about, right? Inevitably, Mandy, you used to. Jacqueline, I'm right there with you. I can't watch it either anymore, to be honest. Right, and the reason I can't, because inevitably there's that piece where you know that person's gonna hurt themselves. And they've put it on because they know they're gonna get the ratings because we watch it, but what do? That person, they went up to the roof, they brought their skateboard to the roof, they fell off the roof, and everybody's like, oh, what kind of empathy is that? So I'm going to give us a different way of understanding empathy. Empathy is not empathy is not empathy. We tend to think of empathy. We ask people, we're like, hey, do you feel empathy for that person? They're like, sure. Let's imagine there's a scenario where someone's hurting. They're in pain. Often what we think about is that, oh, we're concerned. Wow, I'm sorry you're in pain. I might feel compassion or warmth towards that person. That's the affect, that's that feeling that's underneath. And I might be motivated to help. And we hope often in our narratives that we're promoting people to move in that direction. But people might be feeling empathy in a very different way. So they see someone, they're in pain, something's happened, they fell off the roof. We may in fact be feeling what's known as empathic distress, where we feel discomfort. Ugh, can't watch that anymore. And we are in fact motivated to move away. That process is actually neurobiologically driven. And when we engage in empathic distress, we're engaging with what's known as our pain matrix. When we talk about empathy, there are actually different pathways to different empathic experiences, ones that we can clearly see a difference in when we put someone in a scanner. There is one system for empathic concern, and there's a different system for empathic distress. And I've lined up the colors to match the systems within the image at the top.